Okay, we have our squat and press workout here. We're going to start off with balance walks and balance split squats. Now, you can use a curb or some other surface, but a 2x4 works really well for this balance movement. When you start off, maybe just practice balancing on one foot, getting a feel for it. And then when we start our balance walk, we want to keep our feet as straight as we can on the board, touching down first with the toes, then the heels. And I'm keeping my body and my arms relaxed. If you find yourself losing your balance pretty often, just take a big deep breath, relaxing all the way down into the soles of the feet. Then for the balance split squats, my back heel is going to lift up, my front heel stays rooted to the board, my spine stays long and tall. I'm not letting my chest and shoulders slump forward as I sink down into that squat. I have equal pressure in both legs, feeling strong and stable in that position. I'm sinking my hips all the way down to my heels. If your front heel is lifting up when you go into that squat, you can accommodate your ankle mobility by creating a larger stance. But if you can, work towards having the feet pretty close together. All right, so for our next movement, we have push-up progressions. Now when we start this movement, we want to make sure that our hips aren't slumping forward and that our butt isn't sticking back in the air, but rather keeping our spine neutral and then bringing tension to the low abdomen by tucking the hips. When I go into that press, I don't want my elbows straight out to the side and I don't want them too close to the ribs, but somewhere in between. And when doing push-ups, you can, if they're tough for you, you can use a table, a desk, a couch to help with the resistance. If a taller height becomes too easy, then you just progress down to a lower height object, eventually working towards the floor. But stick with whatever allows you to get strong reps. And then when that becomes too easy, stepping it down with a shorter object. All right, our third movement here, we have goblet squats. So you can use a weight, you can use a sandbag, you can use a heavy object, but keeping it close to the chest, just under the chin. We're going to bring tension to our abdomen, keeping our spine long and tall. And when I sink down into that squat, keeping my heels down and pulling the knees apart ever so slightly. Now, to get the most out of this movement, I'd like you to count to 5 on the way down, pause, staying strong through the legs and torso, and then coming up slowly, not fully locking the knees at the top. All right, our last movement here, we have our shoulder press. Taking a weight or some sort of object, I'm softening my knees and bringing tension to my abdomen. I'm going to press up to the ceiling and coming down nice and slow, stopping with the weight just above my shoulder. We want to keep our legs strong and rooted into the floor, bringing some tension to the abdomen so we're not getting pulled around by the weight. And then as I press up, I'm almost growing my whole body up to the ceiling or to the sky and coming down slow and controlled. If you want to a time for this tempo, you can use the count of 5 on the way up and the count of 5 on the way down. All right, that concludes today's workout.